Ryan, young and ambitious, has just accepted an internship in a rather unusual team. It was a group of streamers who specialize in paranormal research. The head of this motley company was the charismatic Chloe, who was always bustling with life. Chris, with his skeptical view of the world, served as a kind of counterweight to the rest, always trying to find a rational explanation for what was happening. Maddie, an electronics genius, was the brain of the team, capable of assembling any ghost detection device. Izzy, with her psychic abilities, sensed the otherworld better than anyone else. And finally, Kevin, the cameraman and editor, was responsible for ensuring that all their adventures were captured and reached the audience in the best possible way. On his first day at work, Ryan decided to take the initiative and offer the team a new place to explore. He told them about an old building shrouded in dark legends. According to rumors, a young girl named Becky disappeared without a trace in this place. Locals whispered that she disappeared after playing a dangerous game known as the elevator game. Ryan tried to speak as casually as possible, hiding the real reason for his interest in this place. The legend of the elevator game said that in order to play it, it was necessary to climb certain floors in a strictly defined sequence. Upon reaching the fifth floor, the participant had to close his eyes and not open them until the elevator doors were closed. It was believed that if successful, the player enters the otherworldly realm, where spirits move freely between worlds. However, something goes wrong. A terrible fate awaits the player. That's exactly what's rumored to have happened to Becky. The streamer team, attracted by the building's dark history and mysterious elevator game, enthusiastically accepted Ryan's offer. Chloe, as always, was thrilled to be able to capture something unusual and exciting. Chris, despite his skepticism, admitted that the story sounds interesting enough to spend time on it. Maddie has already started developing special devices to detect paranormal activity in an elevator. Izzy felt that there was something sinister about this place, but she was ready to help Ryan solve the mystery. Kevin, as always, was ready to capture everything that was happening on camera. The team began preparing for the study, collecting the necessary equipment and studying information about the elevator game. The day came when a team of streamers went to an abandoned building. The atmosphere around them was oppressive, as if the place itself was resisting their intrusion. The building looked abandoned and forgotten, as if it had been abandoned many years ago. The walls were covered with cracks and mold. The windows were boarded up, and the doors creaked with every breeze. The team went inside, lighting their way with flashlights. They headed for the elevator, which, according to legend, was a portal to the spirit world. The elevator looked old and rusty, as if it hadn't been used in years. The cabin was cramped and dark, and the buttons on the control panel were covered in dust and dirt. Maddie has installed his devices to detect paranormal activity inside the elevator. Izzy closed her eyes and tried to feel the presence of the spirits. Chloe was setting up the cameras, preparing for the broadcast. Chris, as always, remained skeptical, but he was ready to observe what was happening. Kevin filmed everything on camera, trying not to miss a single detail. Ryan stood off to the side, watching the team. He entered the elevator with the rest of the team, preparing for the scariest adventure of his life. The elevator started moving, and they began their journey into the spirit world. The team, full of determination, began filming a video of them performing the elevator game ritual. Chloe, as an experienced streamer, commented on their every action, creating a tense atmosphere for the audience. Maddie followed the readings of the instruments, hoping to record any paranormal phenomena. Izzy, concentrating, tried to establish contact with otherworldly forces. Chris, despite his skepticism, followed the instructions, although there was obvious concern in his eyes. Kevin recorded everything that was happening on camera, trying not to miss a single detail. However, during the ritual, something went wrong. The elevator began to move erratically, the lights flickered, and Maddie's instruments showed strange values. They soon realized that they had been interrupted. An invisible force interfered with their actions, trying to prevent them from completing the ritual. In addition, they found that most of the footage was damaged. Recording anomalies caused by the ritual erased important portions of the video, leaving them without valuable evidence. This was a major blow to their investigation, and the team began to lose confidence in success. After an unsuccessful attempt, Chris, clearly frightened by what had happened, stated that he refused to continue. He suggested that the team abandon this idea, considering it too dangerous and unpromising. His words angered Ryan, who felt his hopes were being dashed. Angry, he lost control of himself and revealed the secret he had been keeping inside himself. He told the team that Becky was his sister and that he had joined them only to find out the truth about her disappearance. But that wasn't all. In a fit of rage, He accused Chris of refusing to continue the investigation because it could reveal his inappropriate relationship with Becky, who was still underage. Ryan's accusation shocked the team. All eyes turned to Chris, waiting for his reaction. The rest of the team, outraged and disappointed, could not believe what they had heard. After the scandal, the team members dispersed, each pursuing their own goals. Chloe, shocked by what happened, decided to temporarily stop streaming and rethink her life. Maddie, disappointed in his technical abilities, tried to find a rational explanation for the paranormal phenomena. Feeling guilty for not being able to foresee the tragedy, Izzy withdrew into herself and stopped communicating with the outside world. Kevin, who had lost faith in the team, decided to pursue other projects. Ryan, tormented by guilt and despair, was left alone with his pain and thirst for revenge. Shortly after the breakup of the team, Chris' tragic death became known. He was a victim of a woman from the 5th floor, who, according to rumors, brutally murdered him. Izzy and Kevin, driven by curiosity and a desire to prove their case, decided to play the elevator game again. However, they did not escape a sad fate either. Ryan, having learned about the death of his comrades, felt even more guilty and responsible for what had happened. Overcome by grief and a thirst for revenge, Ryan decided to carry out the ritual of playing in the elevator alone. He entered the elevator, performed all the necessary actions, and waited with bated breath for arrival on the 5th floor. When the elevator doors opened, he stepped into the unknown. The ritual worked, and Ryan entered the spirit world. He found himself in a strange and creepy place where reality was intertwined with illusions. He saw ghostly figures wandering in search of peace, heard ominous whispers, and felt a chilling chill. He began searching for his sister, hoping to find her alive or at least find out what happened to her. After a long and painful search, Ryan managed to find Becky. She was imprisoned by a woman on the 5th floor who fed on her life energy. Ryan tried to free his sister, but the woman from the 5th floor got in his way. There was a fierce fight between them, in which Ryan miraculously survived. With the last of his strength, he managed to chase the woman off the 5th floor and free Becky. After that, by some miracle, Ryan was brought back to the human world. He came back a different person, forever changed after the experience. Returning to the real world, Ryan felt empty and exhausted. He knew he had to tell Chloe, the only one left on the team. Ryan headed to the office where their team used to work. There he met Chloe, who looked as depressed and confused as he was. Maddie was in the office with her, and he was in a state of great shock. He told them that he also ran into a woman from the 5th floor and barely survived. Chloe, using her skills as an explorer, began to dig into the building's past and learn the terrifying truth. It turned out that the woman on the 5th floor is the vengeful spirit of a girl named Ellie. Many years ago, she was killed during a brutal hazing at the Women's Student Club, which was located in this building. The club members locked her in an elevator shaft and left her there to die. As a result of the accident, Ellie was crushed by an elevator, and her spirit remained trapped in this place, seeking revenge. Chloe found out that the only way to stop her was to repeat the ritual of playing in the elevator and try to free her soul. Ryan, Chloe, and Matt had no time to discuss a plan of action when a woman burst into the office from the 5th floor. She was furious and thirsty for blood. Maddie, as the weakest of them, became her first victim. She brutally dealt with him, leaving him no chance of escape. Ryan and Chloe were horrified by what had happened. Chloe and Ryan, having gathered all their strength and courage, decided to repeat the ritual of playing in the elevator. They entered the elevator, performed all the necessary actions, and waited with bated breath for arrival on the 5th floor. However, their attempt was unsuccessful. Something went wrong and the ritual didn't work. The woman on the 5th floor became even more powerful and vicious. She attacked Chloe and brutally killed her. Ryan, unable to do anything to save his girlfriend, was overcome with despair. He knew he was next. He tried to run, but the woman on the 5th floor was too strong. She grabbed him and imprisoned him in the spirit world forever. Ryan will forever remain in the spirit world, trapped with the woman on the 5th floor. Chloe and Matt become victims of her revenge. Eve remains undefeated, and danger continues to loom over this place. In the final scene of the film, a new character appears, a popular blogger who decides to make a video about the disappearance of a team of streamers. He enters the elevator to perform the ritual of elevator games and try to solve the mystery of their disappearance. He does not know what awaits him ahead and that he may become the next victim of the woman from the 5th floor. The blogger's fate remains unknown. Thank you for watching this video. I hope the retelling of the movie Elevator Game was useful and interesting for you. Your support is very important to me.